The Growl Tap Kit. Okay, let's have a look at how to assemble the Growl Tap Kit. Should look like this when you're done. Now the growler comes from your favorite craft brewery in your area. So now the first thing we do is open the box. And what you do is just cut along this seam right here. Ta-da! Okay, should look something like this. You got your growl cap right there. You got your pro regulator. Now this little extra washer, it's just an extra one. It goes in there if you ever, for some reason, falls out or you need a replacement. Picnic tap, and these, you give it a little tight in there to make sure that it's completely sealed, but we'll get into cleaning them later. And then you got 4 feet of hose. And this you recycle. First thing you're gonna do is pull out your Fat Max. Got mine right here. And then the typical depth, you could just put it in there and hold your finger there. But generally the typical depth of a growler is about 12 inches. So then give it a snip. You can do it at a little bit of an angle. That way it'll definitely never get stuck to the bottom. So then you just shove the dip tube onto the little barb here at the bottom of the cap. Like that. As for the picnic tap, well, you can leave it extra long like this, because you might want to stick it in the fridge and hang it off the door or something like that. Personally, I'm going to cut it at 12 inches again, because that's about right. Now, and then we'll add our picnic tap on here. Just shove it on the end, no problem. And you can just give that a little tighten to make sure it's leak-proof. Now when you get home from the brewery with your precious craft beer, we want to expose the beer to the least amount of oxygen as possible, but let's face it, the way they filled this, you got 3 days to drink this beer. So we'll take off the cap, drop our dip tube down into the bottle. I like to spin the bottle. There's only going to be about 5 pounds pressure going into this thing, so like, this is plenty. Now I've seen some crazy people force carbonate these with these caps, but I don't recommend it. You can check out the website or Instagram to see some of that. So we got these CO2 cartridges. They're sold separately, mainly because of shipping reasons. Generally, you're gonna serve about 6 liters of beer. If you're careful with this, you're not gonna be able to carbonate the beer with it, just serve it. So we'll spin that on there, and then we're gonna make sure it's all the way counterclockwise, like the volume knob on a stereo. And then twist your hands a little opposite, just so you can give it a quick twist. Whoa! Even I don't get it perfect every time. So there you go, you got CO2. We'll see how I do on the next one. I gotta do this 12 times. And then you can just tighten that up, and you want the cartridge to be facing downward. So then, when you go to serve the beer, you just wanna have that turned up to 3 to 5 PSI. And so then you're ready to pour. And then it'll just keep charging up. And if you're getting foam, you can just let up on the pressure valve and it'll reduce it down. You want to keep your beer cold to reduce the foaming. And you can always twist this picnic tap any way you want to hang it on the regulator nicely. That's a good pro tip. What I do is I keep the regulator low, and when I'm pouring, I just gently turn it up just enough to ease the beer into the glass. I mean, the point of this, like I said, is to reduce the oxygen levels. So you get it home from the brewery, you put the cap on as fast as you can, it's the kind of thing, and then you get that CO2 in there. So at least the rest of this, you're serving it under a blanket of CO2. So maybe you'll get a week out of it then, rather than when you're chugging it into the glass.
When it comes to cleaning your kegs or kits, a good rinse with hot water is often enough, as long as you do it right away when the keg is empty. If you want a deeper clean, we have these handy tablets from Craftmeister that do an amazing job. Look how well it works on this stained coffee mug. Just fill your keg with hot water and pop in a tablet. Let it sit for at least 10 minutes, and then you can flush your taps to your heart's content. After that, just rinse everything thoroughly with hot water and set it out to dry. All our kits are easy to disassemble for a more thorough rinsing and can be reassembled just as quick.
So that's all it takes to assemble the Growl Tap Kit. I mean, it's pretty easy. I probably didn't even need to make this video, but here we go.